know me, I'm Carl McLaughlin from Semroc. My son Bruce McLaughlin, my wife Cheryl McLaughlin. We are Semroc Astronautics Corporation. We're a new company now because we started 10 years after Estes when our original time, so that makes us a newer company than an old company. We've been around in our second generation since 2002, and for all of you, the prayers and best wishes. When I had my heart attack in March, I didn't get a chance to thank you personally, but they were well felt, and I appreciate it. And I'm here today, so they work. But right before NARCON, when I had the event, and this is the only one that we released right before NARCON. I was still working on two others, and I had to wait till afterwards. But the Centauri Orion has been around since 1970, and this was designed by Larry Brown at Centauri. This is the older base with all balsa fins in the bottom, not the later plastic. And a balsa nose cone is a representation of the first balsa and paper combination nose cone. That's been one of our most asked for kits that people wanted to see. The Vector V, Vector 5, depending on what you want to call it, is really Vector 5 because it's got 5 fins, but it's customizable. The Excalibur 2, I don't have up here, but they were also released in between NARCON and Naram. A project, yeah, it is, Excalibur. We have the number 8 booster that goes with this that converts it to an Excalibur 2. If you bought an Excalibur 2 back in the day, you got this kit with the number 8 booster stuck in it. The instructions were still for Excalibur 1. So we do the same thing. A project we've been working on for some time is how to handle the burn through on body tubes from the delay and ejection charge, and how to handle Kevlar cords burning, how to handle the smileys on the nose cones, and we incorporated a new engine mount that has the engine hook, engine tube, and a ST9 that fits just inside an ST10 as the tube to get the launch lug, get the shock cord away from the gases. We changed to 36-inch shock cords on all of them, and we have a line of 10 kits based on that system. Based on some of the designs, upscales, downscales, of some of the best designs we've seen over the years. This was originally this concept of using something inside the tube to protect the inside of the wall was invented by Harry Stein on the first production model rocket kit, Araby High. So I've been thinking about this one for a long time. It worked then. It's one of those things we lost, probably should have kept. Our first one is a start based on an early design from Bill Simon. Another one Bill Simon did was the Skyhook 2, which is not here. Well, we're taking post orders on that one. And now the test is there's another one beside that one missing. The Cherokee C is based on one of Gene Street's best designs over the years, besides Saturn 1B. The Cherokee D, this is a downscale if your budget is not quite up to D. And you'll notice that all of these, the new system, well as this, every kit has laser cut slots.
Nice.
It has through the wall fins that go into the engine mount for rigidity. And each kit has a laser cut fin alignment guide for 3 fins or 4 fins. Some kits are 3, some are 4. So the slots get you lined up in one direction, and after you get it on there, you put the laser cut guide and it lines you up the other direction. So it should be perfectly straight plates with these. All of them are parachute based. People said our SLS kits, the Centauri large scale, were too expensive. So we scaled them down to what they would have been if they'd been upscaled.
Yeah.
So the Explorer goes to a 1-inch diameter instead of a 1.75. All these go to 1-inch diameter instead of 1.75. So if you scale these up 1.75, you'd wind up with the SLS series and about 2 to 3 times the price tag. So these are flyable. They all have the slotted tubes, slotted fins. These were some of Lee Peaster's earliest and best designs. The Explorer, the Hustler, and the Air Dart. This is I know Bob, Century, and Interjet did 3 or 4 separate Air Darts over the years. This is the second one in the series. It's a downscale of that one. If you want the other ones, I'll make you up some of those. This was our kit back in 1970. The XK23 was one that I designed in '65 that had one of the first baffle systems for a 1-inch diameter, but we didn't produce it until 1970. It was one of our most popular systems with a baffle, so you didn't have to have wadding. Another one we did, the one that's missing, is a Phelan, which was our beginner kit back in '68. I know a lot of you know Mike Dorfler. Met him today for the first time, but his works have inspired us, inspired a lot of people over the years. And when we started doing this, 2 of his designs that he did, I think the Optima was a huge rocket. It wasn't in production but about 4 years, but it was one of my favorite large rockets at the time. This is a much downscale version of that, but it was one of Mike's, in my opinion, best designs. The Mini Omega has a mini Semroc downscale of the Semroc. If you have a pin cam or something, you can do a Semroc in style. I have one that I have built for Naram, 2-stage with the booster vision. But when I plugged it into RockSim, it said I needed a B14.0 in the booster. Has anybody else got anything to say about B14? So we're going to fly it sometime this week on a C63, which it will fly with the booster vision on. But if you want a Mini Omega, just for show, it flies very well on A, B, and C engines. All these are designed around A, B, or C. Quest and Estes just have to pick the right delays, but it's all listed on the front. Any questions?
Don't those new kits have a different name or series name? Something about almost?
Oh yeah. That's the high altitude. It affects your oxygen to your brain. Altitude. It's higher here than it's 313 feet in Nightdale if you climb up on the top of a building. But here, we called it. People have been asking us for years, do you have any of those ready-to-fly rockets, or those almost ready-to-fly rockets? And I said, we're a small company. We can't afford to do the work for you. You got to build them yourself. So we say, well, ours are not ready to fly, but they are ready to build. So we named this the Ready to Build series because they're really ready to build with the new engine mount, the slotted tubes, the fin template. They're really ready to shake it out of the bag and build it. In fact, I've built a few in testing, just not sanding and filling it all, but just putting them together, fitting them together, and having them ready to fly in less than 5 minutes. So it's not quite ready to fly, but with CNA glue, it's really close.
Yeah.
Not them all pre-slotted or laser cut fins.
Any more questions?